Welcome everyone, today we have a new guide for Tower Fantasy. In this video, we'll look into a new method of AFK farming for experience and also for loot. So over here you can see that I've been AFK farming the frontier, and what I want to do is I want to give you guys a highlighted summaries of what you can get from different farming routes for more experience and also more loot. So we'll talk about AFK frontier farm. After that, we'll look into the passcode chest farm, we'll look into elite monster farm, and also the 200 to 500% experience catch-up mechanics. So this video will focus on getting more loot and also what are the best farming method. If you have the time or if you want to do some AFK, what do you get for farming those? I want to give you guys a list of items and also experience calculations to see what is worth of your time. Now, one of the best and also the most efficient method that saves time I have found currently is to do the frontier clash. And this is the best way to do AFK farming. And I'm sure some of you might have noticed. If you haven't, definitely check this out. If you have, let me show you the calculations. So what you do is you do the normal frontier clash, you go to match and you go click match. You don't have to have any entries. Make sure you don't have any entries and you pick the normal one. Now, if you do not want to use your entries, you click the access button. So if you currently have entries, make sure you click the access button so you do not consume or get rewards, because we're AFK farming for experience and also for loot. Now, once we have loaded into the frontier, it's pretty straightforward. I'll just give you guys a general guide. Someone needs to be activating that switch. Usually I just go run for it just in case no one does it. And once you activate the switch, just click yourself over here and you're done. And this will last you for pretty much 8 minutes. For the next 8 minutes, you don't have to do anything. And right now my game is actually auto farming as I make this recording. So I'll show you one of the recordings of the auto farm. And your character will automatically defeat monsters. And here I want to show you the loot you gain for farming this. You will gain support points. Over a few hundred support points. After 3 rounds, after 4 rounds, my support points was capped to 1,500, I believe. You gain a lot of experience and also bonus experience for teaming up with other characters. You gain, some of the rare items of the monster loots. You gain vehicle parts. You also gain the elemental cores. So this is by far one of the best way of farming. And if you guys have the free time, just follow this basic method at the start. Everyone is doing this because this gives a ton of experience. Notice everyone is altering in my game, and this actually is very rewarding. So if you haven't been doing this, definitely check this out. Now, what I do want to highlight is, I'll do it this way maybe. I want to give you guys the summary of what you get for doing this AFK farm. So basically, I showed you to join and then auto click. So click auto after activating the switch, just in case no one do the switch. And then it takes about 8 minutes per round. For me, the calculation of experience was, let me show you guys over here. So this is the calculation of experience. What I did was at the start of the round, I check my experience. It's about 200,000. And then at the end of the round, I'll check my experience again. So let me try to show you guys over here. Actually, I'll just give you guys a summary notes why I'm checking all the experience, right? So basically, I check the experience I get from the start, I get after 1 run. I get about 33,000 experience per run. And if we divide that for 60 minutes, for how many rounds you get for 8 minutes, it is close to 250,000 experience per hour. And this is by far the best method of farming. And the highlights of loot of item you get is green and blue vehicle parts, and you also get elemental crystals. The elemental crystals will help you upgrade your weapon as you get to higher levels. Right now we get to a weapon 100 level, later on you may be running out of those crystals. So this is actually really good to save up those crystals for the future. You can also get monster loots for cooking and also other things, which could be nice. So this is by far my #1 recommended method. And if you guys haven't been trying this, definitely check this out. So a lot of players currently in game, and myself as I record videos, we're doing this. And this will allow you to have advantage in the later stage of the game because you can save more of your experience as you go through. And I'll show you guys a little tip about saving experience as well for the later stage of the game. Now, one of the methods of me saving for future experience is that once you see the AFK farming method, you can see that I have been steadily farming experience. So before the recording, I was like 200,000 experience, and during the recording, slowly I farmed to another 100,000 experience as I was doing the recording. So one thing I realized is I can eventually get to level 52 very quickly with this method, and eventually I can reach a level cap in a few hours using the AFK farming method. And what I decide to do is, as a little tip, I am still storing my Omnium beacons. I have not deployed them. I'm actually planning to save to deploy them in the future where I need the experience. because each time I deploy them, I can be gaining experience for opening them. And this will actually allows me to kind of store up my vitality into experience in the future. Now, if you do need the experience to level up, yes, you can deploy them. And once you deploy them, if someone discovers it, or after 24 hours, you will get bonus loot, and also you get your experience, you get your golden dust for the legendary gears. So for myself personally, I'm storing all of them for the future, because I think I can auto farm for like at least level 55. And then after that, I get additional experience for opening those. And those are like kind of experience packages I'm saving for myself in my inventory. So this is just a personal idea. You don't have to follow this exactly, but this kind of works, right? And on the top, I did get 1 golden SSR gears from Frontier, just defeating one of the bosses. I was pretty happy. I'll show you guys the stats over here. I got physical attack, it's so, it's not the best. You know, I kind of want volt attack, flame attack, but can't help, right? It's okay. So just to show you guys my intentions of saving experience for the future, and because we're doing AFK farming, I'm getting as much experience as I can while I have the time. In the future, if I don't have the time, I'll start opening those boxes and I get experience boost this way. Now, because we're looking into farming for more experience, I also have 2 previous guides which I want to show you guys. We'll briefly touch about it. So one of the methods of getting more experience is farming a chest route. Over here, I did make and create a route for you guys, and this is one of my previous videos. If you haven't checked this, basically you can swap channels unlimited times, and this route will give you over 10 to 15 chests for 5 minutes of collection. And you'll be just running around, you run around, and there's so many chests that can be looted, and the password code chest, even if you do not crack it with a chip, you still get a ton of experience. So during the time, I think I get about 20 to 30,000 experience per 5 minutes of doing this. So if you compare the first one is more of auto farm. This one you do get a little more experience if you do this correctly. Make sure you learn the method of channel swapping, because you can do this unlimited times. And the difference about the password chest loot is that you can get additional matrix and also weapon matrix data experience, and you can get from force cracking those chests. So let me try to show you guys some of the loots we got. Maybe I can. So yeah, a lot of the chests you can be getting the weapon and also matrix data experience, but this will require you to manually do this. Now, I don't recommend opening the chest for the passcode chest to get 3 times more experience and also more loots, because you want to save those for patch 2.0. In case you guys are not sure, we're force opening the chest on this method. I have the links to this method for you guys in case you don't want to just do the AFK farm, you want additional items and also loots, then come over to the second method and check this video out. Now, this route is actually pretty good. If you guys find a better route, let me know. The only downside is you will spend some time swapping channels, and you will have to focus on what you're doing because you have to be running around, right? But it's actually pretty fun to be collecting those chests, at least for 10 or 20 minutes. Now, the third method of farming for loot and also experience, and this is not really AFK farming, this is one of the first farming method I discovered, so it's actually from this video. Basically, this particular location, there's 3 elite monsters that you can kill. By killing them, you get about 3, 4,000 or even 5,000 experience per killing them. This takes about 1 to 2 minutes depending on how good you are with your weapon and also your gears. The loots you get is basically green and also blue loots. I talk about channel swapping as well. You can use the same method of channel swapping for the chest, but the downside of this particular method is you have to come back to this location. It is actually really hard to travel there. I don't recommend doing this, but if you guys do have achievements and things you want to farm for elite monsters, you can come back to this video. So this method still works, but the first 2 methods will outweigh the rewards. So you can see the difference in rewards in terms of elemental crystals and also vehicle parts, and it's also more efficient because you don't have to do much in those methods. This one you actually have to fight. Now, finally, let's quickly have a look at the catch-up mechanics. Myself, personally, I have not experienced the catch-up mechanics, but in case you guys are wondering and you guys want to know what the catch-up mechanics is, some of my viewers have been telling me in the comments that there is a mechanics in the game, and it seems like when they have not played for 1 to 3 days around that time, they will come back to the game to gain about 200 to 500% experience bonus. Now, the intention of this catch-up mechanics is to fast-track the player to the current level cap. And the bonus experience, what I recall, is starts about 500%, and then this reduces to 200%. It eventually goes to no bonus when you get to the closer to the level cap. Now, again, guys, this is not something that we can kind of abuse and use to get more experience. Because if you don't play for 1 to 3 days, you actually lose out more resource in the game, right? But with this mechanics, if you are, if you're away from the game for 1 to 2 days, you can know that if you do come back, you won't be too far behind. It's not like you miss a few days of experience and bounties. You'll still be able to catch up. You might still miss the bounty reward, but it is less painful. It's more bearable having this mechanics. So keep this in mind. If you guys don't get to play, you can catch up very quickly. And again, this is not, we don't want to do this purposefully, right? We do this because we're trying to catch up and you're a little behind with the level cap. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel and for more content related to Tower of Fantasy. I'll be looking into more free-to-play content, and I've tried to look into minimum spending or no spending method to clear the game and also achieve the highest amount of free currencies and also free-to-play, characters and also weapons in the game.